the Ad Lib Podcast. Today is episode number 75. We're 3/4 into the century. Franco, how's it going, my friend?
Echo. We're 3/4 there. Almost a big 100. We should do something for the big 100. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. What can we do?
Yeah. We should organize ourselves. Here, and here goes immediately a plug for Bruce McAlefeinos and
Yes.
for a good festival. Speaking of festivals, in fact, and speaking of McAlefeino, he put out the official trailer of the Video Nasties 2024 festival. A funny trailer, I must say. And Bruce, grow a stash. You must grow a stash.
Yes. It fits him perfectly. I love it.
I mean, he makes a perfect army dad, army general. Because like put him in an English.
Yeah. And a great narrator as well. I think he makes for a great narrator.
No, he's a great narrator. No, he's a good performer as well. So he knows his shit.
Yes. Definitely does. So, I mean, we've mentioned it many times, but make sure to check out Bruce's profile. And if you're interested in participating, we highly recommend you do. Check out the trailer on Bruce's profile. I'm excited to see what comes out next year. I'm really excited to see what comes out next
year. This year, you mean?
Oh, this year, yeah. I guess this year. Next festival.
They're chasing me already to do my script, so I should start working. I have plenty of time now.
Similar.
You see me more with less weight on my shoulders.
Yeah, peace.
yes. Less weight on my shoulders, so I have plenty of time to do stuff. And I showed you actually some small teasers here and there of my documentary. And anyway, but the most important topic that we always want to discuss is you, Andrea, letting us know what the Ad Lib Podcast is all about.
Well, people don't care about me, but they do care about the Ad Lib Podcast. And here at the Ad Lib Podcast, we talk about movies, series, and video games. We've got some video game stuff today to talk about. But as always, we'll start off by talking about what we've been up to. We'll get into that first. After that, we have some trailers. First trailer we have is for George Clooney and Brad Pitt's Wolves, which we'll talk about. Weird spelling there, but we'll get into that. Wolves. Moana 2. Is anyone excited for Moana 2? I don't think we are present here in this podcast, but we'll get into that as well. The Bear Season 3. We'll talk about The Bear Season 3 as well, which released its trailer. We're definitely excited for that. And the Outrun. Frank, I sent you the link to the Outrun starring Saoirse Ronan, and I am very interested in that. Not excited, but interested. It looks good. And finally, today, surprise, we got the trailer for Venom, The Last Dance. Now, I missed out on the second Venom. I watched the first one, and we'll get into it and discuss what we think about the trailer for Venom, The Last Dance, which will be the trilogy. We got a Venom trilogy. Jesus Christ. Okay. Venom trilogy. After that, then, not a lot with regard to news, but we will be talking about Sony State of Play, which happened a few days ago. And we got an idea of what Sony is cooking, what they're preparing for us for the rest of the year and for next year as well. Some interesting stuff, some not as interesting stuff. I'll describe that later. I don't think Franco will be too interested in that. And then to conclude,
there's quite some good stuff there. I saw here and there.
Hill, I'm imagining, no?
Exactly, Silent Hill. Yeah.
We'll get into that. And today, Franco, with regard to reviews, we really don't have much. I don't have anything to review, anything new to review. But, nothing new came out. I mean, I will talk about Furiosa, but I'll talk about that at the start of the podcast because Joe already gave his review last week. So I'll talk about it at the start. But apart from that, pretty much nothing new. But we have something else for you today because me and Franco will be giving you our best and worst movies and series of 2024 so far.
So far. Okay.
So we'll get into that. And will be interesting to, think a little bit about what we've had so far, the good, the bad. And we'll get into a discussion about what have been the best movies so far and the worst, of course. So that's the plan for today. Viewers and listeners who are in here right now, we've got 6 viewers right now. Please make sure to leave a like if you are enjoying this podcast, and please make sure to leave a comment. Later on, we'll get into it, but why not start off at once? Let us know, what are your favorite movies and series of 2024 so far? Anyways, let's get into it. Franco, what has your week been like so far?
So, I'm if I'm seem a bit distracted because I'm currently checking out the trailers of Moana and Venom as well, because didn't see it, and also Outrun. You're right, Outrun seems interesting, but I've seen Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, you watched Power Rangers.
The 2017 Power Rangers. I have to admit, it was enjoyable. It is messy. So there's it's definitely not perfect. There's some goofy aspects to the movie, which don't need to be as goofy. But for example, there were some fight sequences that were very decent, and the fact that they tried to make it more edgy, more now, especially with certain issues of one of the characters being on the spectrum, for example, or there's also, they discuss mature issues like just trigger warning here, of self-harm as well. So it's an interesting take on the on the teenagers as well. I mean, they're teenagers at the end of the day. But obviously there are some moments where they're like, okay, we're too cool, we're too we are too teenage we are teenagers, so to speak, And I also watched another movie called Movie Pass Movie Crash.
Movie Pass?
Movie Crash.
Movie Pass or Movie Crash?
Movie Pass Movie Crash. That's
the whole title. Oh shit,
Yeah.
okay. Movie. No, I've not heard of this. What's this? Let's look it up. There we go.
So it's basically it explores the company founding and the implosion of the business by outside investors who took over the company, left it bankrupt, and under investigation. It doesn't give you whatsoever information about the company, but the business idea was an excellent business idea, where basically you pay a subscription, and they send you a card, like a MasterCard, and you can watch movies, and any movie any day. It's like you can watch a movie a day.
What's that? That's a good idea.
It was amazing. Like people used to watch almost like for like they used to watch. Someone did, one of the interviews said that they watched the Avengers 1 hour on this day, another hour the next day, and another hour the day after. So there's that, and it was like I said, it was a great idea. But obviously, they had two old white men had to come in and say that they founded the company. They did not, and they embezzled funds to go and party at Coachella.
Oh no!
And they basically fucked a great idea up, because I'm telling you, it was amazing. Like, people really loved it, but the problem was that they had made a special offer, and they kept the special offer like ongoing, and obviously the company was losing money. You cannot keep having almost 5 million subscribers and all what they were paying was $10, especially with the upkeep of the cards and sending them and whatnot. And the original founders, which, by the way, they happened to be black and to be taken over by two old white dudes. It's like, guys, can you not make it more obvious that you're not like the old white dudes? No, basically. And no, to the point, like one of the people in the customer service said, like they felt like what's happening. They see their bosses partying it in Coachella while they're having troubles. Like, they were saying that one of the interviewees said that they had to get an extension cord from the company next door. That's how bad they were at customer service. They didn't invest in customer service. Anyway, I mean, again, it doesn't reinvent the wheel of the documentary. It's just it was an interesting watch, and I wish they would do something similar in Malta, but I think it wouldn't be as much a sustainable business model as one would take it to be.
I think it's a good idea, but that's enough. I think it's a bit too cheap, though, to be honest. It's like, how does it work out?
I know. I mean, it's
as in it's good for the user, of course, for the person purchasing it. But how is it sustainable eventually?
No, but there was, they had levels of subscription. You know, you have the basic, then you had the mid tier, and then they had the high tier with more perks, basically. So that's what happened. But yeah, that's it. I kept looking forward to see Dark Matter episode 6, but I didn't. I wasn't patient enough, so I ended up buying the book.
Nice.
And it's the book is very fast paced. That's breakneck speed. So much of it's. I can appreciate it that the series gives more character background, you know, and having the author of the book, it makes sense. Having the author of the book write also the TV series makes a lot of sense. Like, he knows the characters inside out.
Yes,
and it's like obviously nothing is similar to there's quite some changes to the book, but it's not. No, I tried to find it, but I couldn't find it over here. But it's not. I'm still enjoying the book. Like, it's not making me enjoy the TV series less. And I look forward to the next episode this Wednesday.
Yeah, episode 5, right? That was the last one.
Episode 5. Yeah, wordless. Episode 6 is the.
Yeah, 5 was very good. Five was a really good episode.
So good.
Those mosquitoes, like mixture of
it's
they like a bird mosquito.
The mosquito wasp almost. It's like how evolution, how in certain ways evolution went in different directions.
But by the way, but the monsters came from the box, right?
Yes, because what happened with one of the travelers, she went into this world, and she basically
brought them with her. Yeah,
brought them with her.
Yeah. That's really good. It's really good so far. And the different multiverses are all interesting. All, like, we had the pandemic in one of the episodes as well.
Yes,
it's interesting stuff. It's really interesting stuff, and visually it's done very well as well. I'm very impressed.
Very good.
And the visuals, CGI is really good. Really impressive.
Listen, Apple TV have really good visually stunning series. I have to admit. Even like I think you saw Franklin. Was it Franklin? What was it?
Franklin. The production design on that. It was very slow, but the production design on it, like, no CGI there. It was all just sets and the set design and the costumes and the makeup and the hair. Everything was really immaculately done. I mean, they clearly spend a lot of money on these shows. Though I don't know how successful these shows are on Apple TV Plus. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think Apple look at these shows as kind of as like an advertisement for their products at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I think that's how they see them. Just like with Napoleon and just like with Killers of the Flower Moon, it's like getting the name Apple out there. That's all that matters for them. The fact that Killers and Napoleon didn't make money, actually lost money, for them isn't an issue. First of all, because they get a ton of money. Plus, for them, they look at it as an investment, as a long-term investment into the name Apple. It's a different way. It's a different way of business compared to companies like Warner Brothers, for example.
No, but they're doing great in the sense that they're not just focusing on TV and that's it. You know, like Napoleon, they put it on cinemas. There also wasn't there Killers of the Flower Moon as well.
Killers of the Flower Moon, exactly.
Like despite me not really much being into it, it was a great, like, what they did with it as far as marketing goes was quite fantastic.
Yes,
I have to
yes,
admit.
yes.
So at
And
least they give the film chance to breathe in the cinema screens.
yes, and the fact that they're giving someone like Martin Scorsese a free reign to release a 3 hour and 30 minute film is a good thing. No, I mean, we want our visionaries, our authors, to release their vision. Now we might disagree with their vision. I loved it. You
No comment about the 3 hour 20 minutes. Sorry. Yeah.
You didn't love it as much as I did, but yeah, I'm hey Bruce, glad you're here. Glad you're enjoying the show. Good to have you on. We
And
just
we
mentioned
plugged you. We plugged
yeah.
you. Yeah, we plugged your stash.
Yeah, your stuff. Loving the
The
facial
Tom
hair.
Selleck stash, basically.
But yes, I'm really impressed by the work they're doing at Apple with regard to the series they're releasing. They're releasing a nice mixture as well. Some sci-fi, some historical dramas, some mystery, some dramas, like for example something like Ted Lasso as well. So it's a really nice
Sugar.
mixture. Sugar, for example, as much as I hated the twist, I mean I love the concept behind it. It's a really nice mixture. I think, honestly, right now, Apple TV Plus is the best streaming service you can get your hands on. Like, for example, they had, what was that series set on a plane? Was it just plane? I forgot what it was called.
No,
Hijacking of a plane.
hijacking. Hijack. I think
Hijack. Hijack, yeah. But that was great as well, really tense.
With Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, exactly. So it's a really nice mixture. They don't do what Netflix do, which is release like 10 shows and movies every day or every week. They release one every week, kind of, one, maybe two every few weeks, and they just let that show breathe and make sure that everyone watches that show that they're releasing, which is a good thing. It's a really good thing. Franco.
Bruce said that he said, thanks for the plug, a full stash is in the pipeline. And he said, it will be the scariest thing at Video Nasties. Speaking of scary stuff, there's actually a French movie, quick trivia here, called The Moustache.
The Moustache.
Where basically the premise is that, Mark is a middle-aged man who has spent most of his life with a mustache on his face. He suddenly decides to shave them. When he tells his wife, he disagrees with her, but because basically she says the premise is that the wife tells him, "You never had a mustache. What are you talking about?"
Wait, what?
Yes, so that's the premise. So it's a really good there's that push and pull.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. Anything else, Franco, you've watched this week?
No, I'm also looking forward for the next episode of Smiling Friends. My weird humor. I mean, listen, it's a good 10 minutes of weird, wacky humor. I need that burst.
So, in my case, I actually had pretty much a week full of rewatches.
So, by the way, guys, sorry if we keep drinking. And it's important. Stay hydrated.
It's Malta. We have to drink, and it's June now, 3rd of June in Malta. If you're not drinking every 5-10 minutes, you're not doing it right, basically. But it's been a week of rewatches. I was very busy. I had lots of corrections this week, so I really did not have much time. But the good thing about the Mad Max movies is they're very short. They're 1 hour 30 minutes. So I had a rewatch of the first Mad Max. Which is a movie. It's I forgot how little plot it had. I mean, literally no plot at all. Like random guys just pop up and attack them. It's a weird little movie, but I think it's a great debut for George Miller. The whole concept is at the beginning. You can tell this was all done on a shoestring budget. Some of the crashes, however, are truly impressive. Truly impressive. And that leads me on to the second Mad Max Road Warrior, which is, in my opinion, one of the best action movies ever made, period. Probably, as I was discussing with Joe, probably, in my opinion, the second best action movie of all time after Fury Road.
how good the posters, man.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
the posters, so fun.
That chrome, I just realized that's why it was.
Yep. Yep. This is a real fun movie, Mad Max 2. It's a real fun movie, and the action scenes, the way they are choreographed, is truly, truly impressive. It's like mind-blowingly good. Rewatching this, I remember watching this as a kid. I remember the fucking annoying wild kid who throws the boomerang and is slicing the fingers. I remember watching that as a kid. And I was like, I really need to rewatch Mad Max going into Furiosa this week. But yeah, it's one of the best action movies of all time, probably the second best action movie of all time. Mel Gibson is so good in it. It's so fun. Yeah, just a great watch, and highly recommended for everyone. Then Sunday morning, my mom and dad told me to let's go watch Furiosa. And so we went to watch Furiosa at 10 in the morning, as it was meant to be watched. And yeah, but Furiosa is not an hour and a half. Furiosa is 2 hours and a half. It's long. It is an epic. Furiosa is, I feel like, the culmination of all the Mad Maxes come into this movie. Now, it has its issues, and I'll start off with its issues. Some of the CGI really is off. You remember, Franco, when we were talking about the trailer, I was very forgiving with the trailer. I was like, yeah, that's the trailer. No, I'm sure they will improve on it. And they did improve some of the CGI. Some of the visuals are really good. But holy shit, man, some of the fire effects are really bad. Really bad. Really, really, really bad. Some of the fire effects, some of the when the vehicle is CGI and not a real vehicle, it really shows. Some of the, when it's not a stuntman doing the action, when it's CGI person, it really shows.
I mean, listen, how much was the budget for this movie?
It was big, 160 million.
Okay, because
It was
even Power Rangers had the janky fire VFX.
Very janky effect. And there was one point there was this like lava effect, fire on oil, which looked really video gamey, but a bad video game. So yes, some of the CGI was really off. But when the movie's going on at full throttle, it really is going on at full throttle. There is, Joe, and I agree with Joe, probably the best action sequence I've ever watched in my life in this movie. It's a whole chase sequence, which takes around like 20-25 minutes. Truly, truly impressive stuff.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, was my camera stuck? I'm gonna change it.
Okay.
Canon. Second.
Canon, you see, Feshel. This is if Feshel is also watching us, because they also have problems with Canon at the guys at Multipop.
I
think we have in Malta. We have the podcast extended universe. So many podcasts in this little rock of an island, but at least.
Yeah, but so the action was incredible in the chase sequence. One thing I need to say, and I was really upset about it, that this long action sequence, which takes around 20 minutes, was actually interrupted by the intermission, which was really upsetting and really broke the pace of it all. Like it was all building up to the conflict between Furiosa and one of the one of the side antagonists. And just as they're about to jump, boop, let's go take a break. Oh, no. And I'm like, no, seriously, don't stop it now. Please finish the action scene at least and then stop it. Oh, it was really frustrating. But that obviously cannot be blamed on the movie. That is the cinema, right? And in Malta, we have a fixation with bricks, unfortunately. But apart from that, it was a great experience. I think Anya Taylor-Joy really pulls it off. I think she does a great job. I would have loved to see Charlize Theron in the role. I don't think anyone would have cared if we saw an older Charlize Theron portraying a younger Furiosa. I think anyone at all would have cared. But I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy is a fantastic actress. She really pulls it off, and I think she does a great job in the role. The kid, I don't know the name of the kid, but she was fucking fantastic as well. She was really, really impressive in this. And the direction, right? I mean, George Miller has reached his peak here. although Fury Road is a much better movie, I think he's reached his magnum opus here with Furiosa, in the sense that this is what he wanted. This is him with all the world building goodness. This is him with all the fun, quirky characters and all the different names. We've got Dr. Dementus and Scrotus and Rectus. I love the names. I love the names so much.
Oh, Bruce already with
which is better. And you'll find out later on in the podcast, because that's what we're going to be talking about, Bruce. Today we'll be giving our best movies of the year so far. And you see where Furiosa and you two fit in our list.
Look, Bruce, I can tell you immediately, none of them, Madam Web. All right, that's it.
Madam Web #1. Let's go.
Yes, Madam Web #1.
But yes, Furiosa is a great watch. Please go watch it in the cinema, support it, because I want more Mad Max. And if Furiosa doesn't make its money, which seems like it won't, it's we're not going to have more Mad Max, apparently.
No, disastrous opening memory weekend.
And it's very upsetting, Franco, really upsetting. I don't know what you think about this, but to see such a good movie be the one that restarts, because I feel like I've heard this 100 times since I've been watching movies at the cinema. It's the end of the cinema, the death of cinema. And it's to have such a good movie like Furiosa be that movie that starts this whole, it's the death of cinema again, is really, really upsetting, because it's such a great movie. It's such a great movie.
I mean, watch movie past movie, Krish, and you understand what's killing cinema as well. No, I mean, because that's what attracted me to that movie. I mean, because with that movie pass thing, people would have immediately gone watching it. For example, actually, sorry to go back to it, this kind of movie. Let's put this in this kind of movie, in order for them to recoup some of the costs. They used to block people from watching, for example, big blockbuster movies. That back in the day, it was Top Gun Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
And what they used to say is like that they would put, you've watched this movie already, so you can't watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
And the people were like, no, we didn't watch this, like they know that they didn't watch it. So I mean, so there's one reason, and again,
yep, which is very unfortunate. To conclude, yesterday, then I watched another movie, another rewatch with Trician's cousins. They came over, and we watched had a nice little Harry Potter rewatch. We obviously I made them watch the best Harry Potter movie, and that is, of course,
The Prisoner of Azkaban,
directed by one of the best directors of all time, Alfonso Cuarón. And that is Prisoner of Azkaban, of course. I think some of the most stylish direction I've ever seen in a franchise film. The camera movements, the editing, the transitions, the performances. Oh, so good. So it's just such a great watch. Such a great watch. By far the best Harry Potter movie. This is, in my opinion, a 5 out of 5 movie. In my opinion, Prisoner of Azkaban. I think it's a 5 out of 5 movie. No Harry Potter movie gets close to this. The showdown between Alan Rickman, Tulis, Gary Oldman, Timothy Spall, it's such a great culmination of all the tension and drama that has been developing throughout the film in the Shrieking Shack. This is just a great movie. And it made me think, man, we were so spoiled in the mid-2000s. When this is your franchise film, and it's this stylish and this beautifully lit and directed and edited, we were so spoiled. Like, we did not know how good we had it in the mid-2000s.
This is the Last Jedi of the Harry Potter.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, The Last Jedi is beautifully shot and beautifully edited. That I will agree on. But there's other stuff. This is really good. It's a true vision. It's a true visionary making a real film.
It is it is. In fact, I was like, this is really I was impressed by it a lot myself, because I'm like, this is not exactly what I expected from a Harry Potter movie. I remember enjoying it a lot. Like it went,
The tone is
yes,
so good. The dark tone.
exactly. I mean, and then it went, and then it's like they shifted gear back to the like, okay, let's play it kind of safe, kind of more adventure, you know.
But you've got so many horror moments in this as well. So much inspiration from
Yes,
horror
yes,
moments.
yes, yes.
Like, for example, I mean, to be fair, he is helped by the plot, which I mean, with the book itself, which has a lot of horror moments in the book as well. But taking, for example, that scene when Harry leaves the Dursleys and he's walking in that playground, and you've got
The Dementor, right?
not the Dementor at that moment, but he sees the Grim. Obviously, we know who that is, right? No spoilers for how long has it been? 2004 movie, but and the lighting in that scene is just so good, really good. And even the symbolism in it, again, the symbolism of the Grim Reaper. You've got the symbolism of the Dementors and the way the Dementors, like for example, the scene when they come onto just on the train and we see the hand moving. That's just such good horror moments. And here again, we're talking about a PG franchise film, and still Cuarón just pulls off so many scary moments as well. Even this scene we're seeing here, the way the camera moves, it's all just camera. There's nothing there because we don't see anything. It's just the way the camera moves and the horror it brings in and the fear and the tension it develops. It's just such a great film. Such a great film. Like, again, we were so spoiled. We had no idea how spoiled we were.
Yep.
I know people who say, oh, it's Harry Potter. This, for me, is one of my all-time favorite films. All-time favorite films, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And it shows who directed it, right? One of the all-time best
Alfonso Cuarón. Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely love. Also made another one, two of my other favorite movies. Children of Men, which fits up there with my top 20-30 films, definitely Children of Men. And I adore Roma as well. I'm
one of the, again, I think I have to rewatch that movie because I might have not been in the mood to watch Roma. Because it's one where like you know what I told you about La Notte?
Yes,
it's another movie which I thought it's a very like bourgeois
I can see why
portrayal of. It's a very bourgeois portrayal of the maid. I mean, don't get me wrong, for cinematography and whatnot was great, but you know, it's like I felt like he's almost like romanticizing the. And the political aspect was very like in the background.
The fact that movie did not win Best Picture for me.
Roma?
No, right? It did not. That was, what year was that?
Gravity. You don't like Gravity?
I like it, Tom. Not biggest fan though. That was 2018, Roma. 2018. What won Best Picture in 2018?
I forgot, but yeah.
Was it Green Book? Was it Green Book?
Yes.
No,
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water, 2018.
I haven't seen this, Madonna.
No, I watched Shape of Water. It's not as good as Roma. It's fine. It's a fine movie. It's like a 3.5, maybe 4. But it's not Roma. It's anything but Roma.
Okay.
It's not Roma. But I mean, we got a quick look at one of the trailers. So, Franco, I think it's time to get into the trailers. We'll skim through these really quickly and start off with probably the one I'm most. No, there's the bear. There's the bear. Bear takes the I am most interested in you.
Start off with a bang. Exactly.
This one looks really interesting. I think I would say after the bear, this is the one I'm most interested to watch. And of course, I'm talking about George Clooney and Brad Pitt reuniting in the action-packed Wolves trailer. Banter, comedy action, Clooney and Pitt, we are in. Former co-stars and real-life friends, George Clooney and Brad Pitt, become reluctant partners when they're both hired as fixers for the same job in the new trailer for the upcoming movie Wolves. This is Apple Studios. Franco also stars Amy Ryan, Austin Abrams, and Purna Yagannathan. It is directed by John Watts. That is the one thing that worries me a little. We'll talk about that later on. Clooney and Pitt are reuniting after working together in Joel and Ethan Coen's Burn After Reading, 2008. Really good film. I love it. They also star together in Steven Soderbergh's, that's another one of my all-time favorite films, Ocean's 11 franchise.
Ocean's 11.
Franco, you're going to say?
Now, John Watts, didn't he direct 500 Days of Summer? Or am I...
500 Days of Summer. I mean, I know John Watts did the Spider-Man trilogy that we just had.
Yes.
And to be honest, as much as I had a good time watching them, I'd say one of the weakest elements of them was the direction, which is something that worries me a little bit. He's done Spider-Man No Way Home. He's done Peter's To-Do List, which is a short, Far From Home, Homecoming, Cop Car, Clown.
Sorry, I got confused. I got confused because this is why I got confused. Mark Webb. So there's the web aspect of it, but there's also, I think he. Let me check. Mark Webb. I thought he did Spider-Man with the.
John Watts did the Spider-Man movies. John Watts did the Spider-Man.
No, but the Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. Who did it?
Oh God. Who did? I don't remember that, Franco. Those I cut them out of my memory, to be honest. The Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, but to focus on this trailer. To be honest with you, this looks fine. I think the dynamic between Brad Pitt and George Clooney looks very, ripe. And it's the kind of thing I want to watch. These are the mid-budget movies we've all been complaining. Where are the mid-budget movies? Well, here's one, right? And we needed Apple to give us one of these mid-budget movies. I think the dynamic looks interesting. The concept also is interesting. Obviously, we find out there's drugs involved, possibly murder. The fact that they're very similar to each other, the way they're acting, the way they speak. Something's going on there, right? Obviously, hopefully the trailer hasn't ruined the whole thing. Franco.
No, not Franco. Bruce. Look what he said.
I
think
Mark,
we No.
Mark Webb did 500 Days. Webb did the Garfield one. Oh, okay.
Further up, he said he had a spicy take. Yeah, a spicy
Roma
take.
was no, Bruce, no. And Keith reminding us that Green Book. Oh, I think Green Book was the year before, Keith. Green Book, I think, was 2017 because that was Shape of Water, and then in 2018, I believe. But no, Roma was not a snooze. Roma was great.
I think 3 is the magic number, so we might have another one where me and Bruce are like, I do. There was something off about it. Like, this is the second.
No, and Bruce also thought it was boring. La Notte. Keith, save me. Keith, please say that you loved Roma, and please say that you loved La Notte. But Franco, your thoughts about this trailer? What do you think about it all?
I saw it on mute. I think the dynamic between Clooney and Pitt works. There's we've seen them already. Their chemistry is great in Ocean's 11. It's good to see Clooney again. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I might check it out. But there were some moments where there is this, the banter is a bit. Okay, but then there's a moment where the hostage situation where he jumps over the car and they put it. I hope the trailer isn't all the best bits and then the movie is just a slogfest. That's what I hope.
True. Very true.
It's like we come out of the movie. I could have watched the trailer and I enjoyed it more.
True. And moving on to the next trailer, which I believe I've watched the first Moana, I believe. But if you had to tell me what I remember about it, both movies came out in 2018. Roma's really good. Yeah. Thank you, Keith. Oh, thank you, Keith. Keith saving us. Oh, Roma's so good.
Let's make the poll of our listeners and viewers. Do you like Roma? Do you like La Notte? Go now.
Go for it. Fight. Battle Royale. Franco, again, I don't know how you are with Moana. I watched Moana a long time ago. I forgot when this came out. It's a beautifully animated movie, but the trailer really did nothing for me. Just to introduce it really quickly, Franco, before you say your thing. It's going to be opening in theaters November 27, 2024, and it reunites Moana and Maui 3 years later for an expansive new voyage alongside a crew of unlikely seafarers. After receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors, Moana must journey to the far seas of Oceania and into dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she's ever faced. Directed by David Derrick Jr., Jason Hand, Dana Ledoux Miller, and produced by Christina Chen and Yvette Merino. Moana 2 features music by Grammy winners Abigail Barlow and Emily Baer, Grammy nominee Opetaya Foai, and 3-time Grammy winner Mark Mancina. Yeah, what do you think, Franco?
To be honest, I have not been watching the CGI animation much. Like I have yet to watch Inside Out. I haven't been following much. I'm interested to watch Moana. Anyway, speaking of Moana too, like we're gonna have now a live action one now as well. But hopefully they rethink it after seeing what Rock did with Black Adam and how he fucked over Henry Cavill basically.
I mean the trailer doesn't really tell me go watch Moana. It really looks like it's made for TV. It really looks like it's made for TV. That's the impression I get. I feel like this was made for Disney Plus, but now they've noticed what a disaster Disney Plus has been, and then they're releasing it in cinemas. That's the sense I get from it. Nothing makes me want to watch it. Like even the animation, it doesn't look. Maybe Moana, when Moana came out, the animation for Moana looked great, right? And it was colorful.
Plus, there's also I don't know if you also got it. There was Avatar: Way of Water did it better, no? Especially,
I mean, especially
with but
it's hard to compare.
No, but not only because it's live action, but even like creature features that sense of wonder. They made it better. You know, that's what I mean.
Yes.
And because I saw when I saw the trailer, that's what I got.
Oh Madonna! Shape of Water was such a deserving winner.
That's another movie I haven't watched. Today you should be the one to be like, you haven't watched Shape of Water.
Shape of Water was great. Shape of Water was very good, but it was no Roma. Those are two movies actually I want to rewatch: Shape of Water and Roma, because they're the kind of movies I remember parts of them, but after what? Well, I mean, now it's 4, 5, 6. We're talking 6 years ago now. After 6 years, you start to forget them.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm not interested at all to watch Moana 2. I feel like, again, Moana 1 was a very fun movie, was a very fun watch. Great animation for 2016, but I don't feel like they've advanced the animation enough to make me want to get into Moana 2. So yeah, it's weak. It's a weak trailer. I feel like it's a really weak trailer. What was not a weak trailer, however, Franco, was the trailer for season 3 of The Bear, the one I am so excited to talk about. So the new trailer for The Bear season 3 confirms the return of Claire, Carmi's romantic interest from season 2, who's played by Molly Gordon, who appears in a few scenes of The Bear season 3 trailer, which was released just days after The Bear season 3 teaser. Highly anticipated third season of the Emmy-winning series will premiere on June 27, 2024, with all 10 new episodes becoming available upon release exclusively on Hulu. Of course, Jeremy Allen White is set to return as Carmine Versato in both The Bear seasons 3 and 4, which apparently, Franco, were filmed back-to-back because many of the actors have some, are in high demand, of course. And so They kind of like got through season 3 and season 4 to free their schedules and for them to be able to pursue what they want to pursue.
Especially his cousin. What's his name?
Yes. Baharash, Ibn Mos Baharash.
Yeah, he's going Bacharach. Yeah, he's going to be in Fantastic Four. So
exactly. So he's going to be busy man.
Yep.
And it's good to see that because all the actors in The Bear are fantastic. Like the main actors in The Bear are all great, talented actors. So it's good to see them working. Franco, I adore The Bear. I think The Bear is one of the best series I've ever watched. Are you excited for season 3?
Yeah, I have to watch season 2. I started season 2. Okay, now I have the time. I have no excuse. Please don't hang up on me. Andrea,
I can't because the podcast will end then if I hang up.
I started it. I think I have time now. I have time. There's no more excuses. I will watch. Okay, I promise that by the end of this week I finish Bear season 2. This is like Andor. If Joe was here, he would be like, Madonna, why did you finish it
now? Leave the podcast and go and watch it.
Okay, see you. Thank you, guys. I should. No. It's I liked the first one. Was amazing. Like and I think it's also a good format as well. Very easily digestible.
Yeah, they're short episodes.
Il-kelma ġibek, but because they're really like boom, anxiety galore. No, but they're easily watchable and fast-paced filming is great. I think it's a must. It's a masterclass. Have you ever watched, speaking of cooking stuff, Boiling Point?
Yes, I watched it. I loved it. I loved Boiling Point. I really loved Boiling Point.
I haven't, but because then there was the series, and I haven't watched the series.
The series I have not watched. I watched the movie. Movie.
The movie was amazing. So,
I watched it during COVID. That came out during COVID, no?
Tail end, no?
No, I remember watching it when we were in. Oh no, I think it was peak pandemic. Because I remember me and Tristian watching it at the same time. There was an app we used to use on our computers and on her laptop where we would watch the same thing together at the same time, so that we could see each other react. And I think that was one of the movies we watched back then, Boiling Point. And we're like, oh, so intense. Oh no. That was a really intense film. Just like The Bear, right? I mean, the same intensity.
Yes, the same intensity, same energies.
Yes. And the tension that develops. The one thing about The Bear, though, that really impresses me, its portrayal of urban squalor. Like the way it portrays the urban life is mind-blowingly good. It's so good. Like there's something about the way it's shot and the colors used that really impresses me. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it right.
Yeah,
really impressive stuff. I'm excited to see this. I'm interested to see where the relationship is going to go between Carmi and Claire. I think that's a dynamic that will be interesting to see. Will Carmi continue to self-implode, or will he take a chill pill? I'm guessing he'll continue to self-implode. That seems to be the direction this is going. And seeing the tension in the kitchen as well, which will continue to increase, and them trying to go for a Michelin star is going to be a blast. I'm so excited to watch this. June is going to be so good.
So the stakes keep rising, huh?
Yep, indeed they do. And with that, we've got two more trailers, because we've got Venom as well. But
Outrun and Venom,
yeah. Next up is the Outrun, which wouldn't probably have caught my attention, but it is starring an actress who I consider to be one of the best actresses plying her trade right now. And I love the choices she makes with her career. I love she has a great agent who picks out beautiful indie projects, really beautiful indie projects. Saoirse Ronan is taking on one of her most intense roles yet. After playing a haunting child with sociopathic tendencies in Atonement, the new Grown-up A-lister leads Sundance breakout indie The Outrun, based on Amy Liptrot's best-selling memoir. Ronan, oh no, Ronan stars as Rona. A bit confusing. A young woman recovering from alcoholism, Rona returns to her remote home in the Orkney Islands after losing herself in London. There, she reconnects with her past, her parents, and the atmospheric isolation of the islands on which she grew up.
So basically, emo Ladybird. No.
Yes, yes. Interesting to see David Ehrlich, who is, in my opinion, one of the best critics plying the trade right now, had tweeted during the Sundance Film Festival that this is so weird that this is very good Saoirse Ronan drama, still doesn't have US distribution, not the easiest sell in the world, but she's an absolute force in it. And I'm not shocked at all to hear that.
And even visually, because from the trailer, the visuals were quite intense. I think there's a great the way the psychological turmoil is externalized seems quite interesting.
Indeed. What's the last stuff Saoirse Ronan has been in? Little Women, excellent. French. Oh, she was in French Dispatch. I don't remember her in French Dispatch. Foe, I never got around to watching Foe. And that's also starring Paul Mescal, but that had some pretty poor reviews.
No, poor reviews. It were very poor reviews.
Yeah.
She was also in with Sam Rockwell. No, what's the called Madonna? Sam Rockwell,
Madonna,
Ronan. They see how they run. See how they run.
I haven't watched that. See how they run.
Yeah.
No, I haven't watched that. Was it good, Franco?
No, I just know that she was in it.
Oh, okay. And obviously, another one of my personal favorite movies of all time. You mentioned it before, Franco. Lady Bird. I adore Lady Bird. I think Lady Bird is.
Again, another. I need to catch up with so many movies, man. Madonna.
I did like a whole Greta Gerwig like binge once. I love Little Women as well. Little Women is another masterpiece.
Really?
Yes. I think Little Women is another masterpiece. I think both Lady Bird and Little Women are their own kind of masterpiece. I adore Gerwig working with Saoirse Ronan is like, yes, do it. Please. Yeah. This is interesting. I think its portrayal of a recovering alcoholic will be tough. It's not an easy role to portray, but I mean, Ronan loves tough roles, so she's going to. I can already tell from the trailer that she's eating it all up. Yeah, I'm interested in watching this. I'm curious to see how it will be released and when it will be released. But I do hope they do release it somehow, because this is, in my opinion, a must-watch with this actress. Franco, I don't know if you have anything else to add about it.
No, what you said, basically. Yeah. What you said is exactly what's on my mind.
So let's move on to the last trailer of the day. Don't know how you are with the Venom movies, Franco, but
haven't seen any, but I have some comments about this.
Okay, because I haven't watched the second Venom. Please note, haven't watched the second Venom. I did watch the first Venom. I watched it twice, actually. And I am a defender of the first Venom. I know the first Venom was eviscerated by the critics, but I had a really good time watching it. I had such a fun time. This is the kind of movie which, if you're going to go in and nitpick, you're going to hate it. But if you go in with the I want to enjoy it attitude, you're going to have a fun time. You're going to have a good time with it. And and I think Tom Hardy is just having the time of his life with this role. You can really tell he's having the time of his life with this role.
Yeah, anyways, very, very loyal to the role, in fact.
Yes, he is. Tom Hardy ends trilogy with more brain-eating symbiote action. They are Venom, and they are officially back. Sony Pictures has dropped the first trailer for Venom: The Last Dance, the final movie in the Spider-Man villain trilogy. Obviously, Tom Hardy returns as Eddie Brock, better known as the brain-eating symbiote villain Venom from the Spider-Man comic. Sony is touting The Last Dance as the final film in the trilogy. According to the logline, Eddie and Venom are on the run, hunted by both of their worlds. And with the net closing in, The duo are forced into a devastating decision that will bring the curtains down on Venom and Eddie's last dance. Franco, you had some comments about the trailer. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like they upped the ante, and you know, I don't know, because like the first one, how shall I say? They all had something going for them, especially with the action. But this one's looks like it's up the ante. It can be one of it can be one of the best entries in the trilogy, especially that horse sequence seems. I mean, if I go just for that sequence because that looks so funny, as funny, and it's also like exhilarating at the same time.
Yeah, I think the Venom. I mean, I've only watched the first one. I need to make time to watch the second one. Actually, it's a very underrated movie. Again, go into it expecting a lot of dumb shit to happen. Get into it expecting a really fun performance by Tom Hardy, and to be honest with you, the CGI is actually not bad at all.
No,
the CGI is for a Sony movie, considering. I mean, we got Madam Web. So, I mean, the CGI on Venom especially looks so good. Very, very good. Very, it's interesting. The character design is really impressive. I think the character design is really on point for Venom. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I went into the trailer thinking I was going to be like, oh God. But I came out of it thinking, yes, this got my attention. And this made me want to watch the second one now, which I will try to do this week. Don't know about you, Franco, if you're at all interested. I would say watch the first one. The first one is really fun. It's really, really fun. It's schlock. It's schlock and 100. None of it makes sense, but it's so fun. It's just fun. It's good fun, in my opinion, of course. I know a lot of people.
No, but it says here, like, apparently, even on Rotten Tomatoes, the second one is also loved by the audience. So there's that.
Okay. So yeah, interesting. So we'll see. I'm interested. I'll check it. The second one probably.
I mean, listen, 57% is like it. I think even Power Rangers was over there, like that area.
I mean, again, we're saying more than half the critics liked it.
Yeah, it says here is like 51% Power Rangers, 65% audience. I like you said, but exactly like you said. Again, I think we are in the same mind. You go for these movies just to say, switch off. I'm enjoying it. I go with the flow with it, basically.
Exactly. So, Franco, now is your time to shine. Because, by the way, viewers and listeners, if you are enjoying the podcast, we are done with the trailer part of the podcast, and we're going to go into now the news part of the podcast. I mean, the news involving a lot of trailers, but still, we are going to have a look now at all the announcements made at Sony State of Play. And I'm going to just focus on the ones that interested me. I've got some shit to talk, and I've got some good stuff to say as well. And let's get into it. Please do leave a like, viewers and listeners, if you're enjoying the podcast so far, and let us know any of the trailers which piqued your interest. Interested in watching Venom, The Last Dance, interested in watching Moana 2. I'm not. Franco isn't. Let us know in the comment section below. And leave a like if you're enjoying the podcast. Please do. That helps support us. With that, Franco, now is your time to shine. Like I said, now is your time to talk about
games.
The Sony State of Play games.
Can I say something? I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has ruined the animation for us.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, the animation was so impressive.
It's so original.
Different.
Yeah, that now like the Pixar style of animation looks redundant.
Yep. So, talking about animation, let's start off with Concord. So, what is Concord? So, Sony unveiled a new gameplay trailer for Fireworks Studios' upcoming 5v5 multiplayer shooter, Concord. Just what the world needed, right? Another 5v5 multiplayer shooter. We don't have enough of those, right? Overwatch. No. So, this is clearly Sony trying to cash in on Overwatch 2 being a complete disaster. And I really don't get why a 5v5 multiplayer shooter needs a story trailer. Because first we got a story trailer for Concord, and the story trailer, I can only imagine how much money was spent on that, on the story trailer. All we need is the gameplay, right? This is all we need to see. Now, gameplay-wise, I'm not going to hate on this as much as other people have. I've seen a lot of people shitting on it. I've seen a lot of people talking about we don't need another 5v5 shooter. And it's true, we do not need another 5v5 shooter. The colors look interesting. It's colorful. I think it can work. Will it work? Probably it won't, because even if you look at the likes and dislikes, it's like it's overwhelmingly disliked by most people. I don't know. I don't share the hate that other people are sharing for this. Again, we don't need it, but I wouldn't mind giving it a chance. I like 5v5 multiplayer shooters. Yes, Franco.
Why do the characters look like they're assets from Marvel? One of them looks like the Guardian of the Galaxy, and the other looks like but even
I won't remember his name.
Zondu. What was
the one? Oh god, the guy who has the pin. Oh god,
with the whistle. And even the other guy looks like Galactus. Thanos has a bit of Thanos.
Oh, here. This guy.
Yeah. Go back. I mean, like there was a bit of him in the trailer. Yes.
Oh, there he is. There's Thanos. Starchill.
Starchill. Okay.
Listen, again, I don't hate this. I know a lot of people do, and everyone's obviously free to have their own opinion. I don't hate this. I think we do need a good 5v5 shooter, because right now we don't have a good 5v5 shooter. That's the problem. Overwatch is disaster. It's an absolute disaster. Overwatch 2. So we do need something to replace Overwatch 2. And maybe this is it, right? Maybe this is it. But I doubt it will be, looking at the reactions from people. So that's Concord. Now, this made me very happy. God of War Ragnarok coming to PC this September. And considering the fact that I never got around to buying a PlayStation 5, I've been waiting for God of War Ragnarok to be announced on PC. And finally it is. And it will be coming on September 19th. So I am very much excited for that. I mean, that's pretty much it from me, because Dynasty Warriors I used to play when I was young. Not anymore. Yeah, let's skip past that. This is not my kind of game. Not my kind of game. This I saw. It's
Behemoth. What's this?
This is the VR game. Oh, this is a VR game. Yeah, I was like,
but this was announced ages ago, no?
Yeah. When I was watching, I was like, this is cool. And then I see, oh no, VR, no. Oh, I hate VR. Another VR game. Marvel Rivals. Hate Marvel Rivals. Oh, the ads kill me. So many Marvel Rivals ads. I can't stand them. And yes, this I want to talk about this. I as you know, I love ARPGs. I think Path of Exile is probably one of the all-time best ARPGs to ever release. I think Grinding Gear Games have really nailed down the ARPG genre. I love the tone, the dark tone they take. Visually, it looks fantastic. And this, Franco, is all free to play.
Diablo, really? Diablo style? This is Diablo style?
Yes, Diablo style, free to play, and really, really, really respect the players. This is a company that really respect the players. It's very complex, very hard, very, very hard. Like the skill tree. Look at the skill. Sometime, Franco, look at the skill tree for Path of Exile 1. You need a PhD to understand it. But it's just such a well-designed game. Such a well-designed game that really respects the players. And it's a great game. It's a great game. And I'm really excited to get into early access for Path of Exile 2. Franco?
It is something that whets my appetite, tickles my interest.
Very much so. I think you'll enjoy this. It has crossplay. Yes, has crossplay. So if you're on PlayStation and another person is on PC, you can play together as well. That's really good to hear. It's and the design and the tone looks right up my alley.
I can play it on Apple as well. So great.
Exactly. So that's Path of Exile 2. And finally, Silent Hill 2. I think this is the last thing, right? Oh yeah, we had Monster Hunter as well. Yeah. So yes, I am. If you're not, please close your eyes.
Exactly. Students of Andrea.
Students, please close your eyes now. But yes, Silent Hill 2 brings back a lot of memories.
This is a remaster, right?
A remaster, yes. This was PlayStation 1, right? This was
yes, that is
one?
quite PlayStation. PlayStation 1.
Oh, so many memories.
We are old, man. We are old. We are going to grow our own mustaches and eyebrows in the narrative.
But yes, great memories playing this game.
How creepy, sorry.
I love Silent Hill. You know what? I'm a big defender of the Silent Hill movie as well.
I have to rewatch it.
Silent Hill movie.
I have to rewatch it.
I remember watching it as a kid and loving it.
I remember. I only remember one of the moments where it really creeped me out was the moment where Triangle Head appears.
Bricks.
Smart to me now.
Yes.
Yeah. This is racing. Furiosa. Even the light is all orange outside.
Yeah, but happy to see this as well from PS5 and Steam. I'm so happy to see that it's coming out. I love the fact that studios are releasing everything on PC now as well. They're saying, listen, there's a big audience on PC, and just releasing it on PlayStation 5 just makes no sense. Let's release it on PC as well. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that's happening. This is one I'm definitely getting day one. Not pre-ordering. Do not pre-order, please. But yes, day one. If I hear good stuff, I'm getting it. So Silent Hill 2 remake. We're all excited for that. That's going to be such a blast replaying it. Monster Hunter. I am not a fan of the Monster Hunter games, Franco. I don't know if you've ever had a look at the Monster Hunter games. But
no, I saw some gameplay.
I know a lot of people love them. but I've never really gotten into them. I don't know what it is with them, but there's something I'm not a big fan.
It feels like a more colorful Shadow of the Colossus, most probably.
True. But I think it's just the concept of monster hunting that really doesn't do it for me. Like for me, with The Witcher, for example, which is probably my personal favorite game, Witcher 3 after Bloodborne and maybe Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I'd say my least favorite part of The Witcher 3 was the monster hunting. I always loved the character dynamics and dealing with people. But the monster stuff, I enjoyed it. It was fine, but I didn't love it. And probably that's the same reason here. But man, the monster design is so good. And anytime I see anyone playing the Monster Hunter games, just think, man, the monsters look so interesting and so different, and a very creative design. And the graphics usually are really good. So yeah, again, this is not the kind of game I'm going to get into, Monster Hunter Wilds, but everyone's excited for this one. Franco, Astro Bot. Don't know if you've heard of it, but everyone's talking about how excited they are for Astro Bot. Let me give a quick description of it. Team Asobi is working on a new Astro Bot game, and we don't have to wait too long for it, as the developer unveiled that's next project out on September 6th, exclusively for PS5. Team Asobi's next project debuted an adorable gameplay trailer. Explore over 80 levels spanning 6 galaxies as they look for Astro's missing crew. Oh, this was Astro's Playroom. Now I remember Astro's Playroom. Okay. But there are going to be a lot of characters, Franco, from very popular PlayStation franchises making appearances in this.
So
again, this kind of visual style, doesn't really do it for me. But I know lots of people are excited for this again, and I'm happy for them, and I'm happy they're excited for it. It's just the visual style. I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit snobbish, but I feel like I've grown out of this kind of visual style.
It's almost Nintendo 64 kind of.
Yes. But I'm glad people are excited for it. The gameplay looks fantastic. Like, the gameplay looks really, really good.
It looks amazing.
Looks sharp. Looks. Even visually, it looks interesting. It's just not my kind of game. It's just not my kind of game. Not the kind of game I'm going to really personally get into. Right? I'm more of the Path of Exile kind of gamer. I prefer those kind of games. But that's pretty much all we had at PlayStation State of Play 2024. To be honest, considering how much Sony had been hyping up the State of Play, I was a little disappointed. I'd say I was a bit disappointed because I expected much more. And I'm always hoping to get Bloodborne on PC. But so far, we have not. Bloodborne is, as you know, my personal favorite game of all time. And with that, viewers and listeners, let's get now into the final category of this week's podcast, and that is our best and worst movies of 2024. Let's get into it. So, Franco, you want to start off with your worst movies of 2024 so far? Or actually, series. Let's start off with the series.
Series, I haven't. I mean, unlike
only good, because I don't think you've watched any like awful series, right?
Exactly. I'm sorry. I really appreciate my time, and whenever I watch movies, so there's that. Just a second. So there's that. I haven't, like, so far all the series that I've seen, I've been very happy with. I don't know about you, if you've seen any disappointing series.
No, with regard to disappointing series, I'd say there are no disappointing series per se. I do have a list of good series though.
No, it's true. I mean, I think maybe that's why there's also that fact why cinema is slowly not doing good, because there's so much good TV around. And
yep.
It's a blessing and a curse, you know.
I have an idea on that, Franco, which I wanted to mention, but I forgot to mention it at the start. I think I know a big reason why TV series are taking over from movies, apart from the whole comfort factor of being at home, right, and watching them on TV. But one of the biggest things in the world right now are video games. And it's not a coincidence, I think, that prestige video games are releasing as TV series. So, Fallout, which are the two franchises that are going to get butts into seats in the cinema, did not release as films. They released as TV series. And I don't think it's a coincidence that they both released as TV series, because I think games work better as TV series, video game adaptations onto the screen work better as TV series than as movies. Well, I don't know about that, Franco.
No, I was going, depends how Borderlands will do. I mean, Eli Roth and the cast are a crowd puller. So you'll never know, huh? So again, we are very skeptical of seeing the trailer, but again, we're ready to be surprised. So there's that. But yeah, you're right. Like that's another series I have to watch, Fallout, and I feel like, by the way,
so good.
By the way, Corridor Crew did. So I didn't watch this week's Corridor Crew react because it's about Fallout. And I think you like it.
Okay. I'll check it out, man. I'll check it out. Oh, yeah, I saw the good and bad CGI. Yes, I still need to watch it, though. Man, Franco, shall we get into good series that released this year, man? I think
we might look at it.
Man, actually, I do have one, I wouldn't say bad series, but disappointing series. And that's True Detective, Night Country. I didn't love it.
I haven't watched it.
I expected to love it. But but I was really disappointed. I was really disappointed by True Detective. I don't know what. I wish Joe was here for this part, because I know Joe really loves True Detective. I never heard what he thought about the latest season.
Night Country.
Yeah, that's the one. But Franco, what are some of the great series you've watched in 2024 so far?
We cannot not mention Shogun. We cannot not mention Shogun.
So good.
It's so good, like cinematography, music, the acting, gorgeous, just gorgeous, great. It's novelistic storytelling. It has this kind of the intrigue as well between the warlords. Television to the max. Good TV, like good, properly well-made TV. And again, the scale of it all as well looks fantastic. I think it's a major upgrade. Apparently, feels like a major upgrade to the 70s series as well.
Mm-hmm. And
What do you think?
of course, Shogun is my personal number one favorite show of 2024 so far, and fits right up there with my all-time favorite shows of all time. Fits right up there. I think as a cinematic achievement, they've really, really pulled it off. Like visually stunning, with some of the best performances I've seen this year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Anna Sawai is and that's one of the things I'm really sad that we won't see if we get season 2 of Shogun. More Anna Sawai, because she was just so good. I thought the ending was incredibly poetic and beautifully written. It's a fantastic dialogue. Oh, the dialogue is incredible. It's just a great show. Great show. Yeah. So I agree completely.
And
Shogun is my number one, by the way.
What's his name? The main actor. The main actor
Hiroyuki
really. He deserves it. He deserves it. He has great screen presence, and like he deserves all the accolades that he's getting as well.
Yep, indeed.
You know, he was in the original Ring, by the way.
In the original Ring, I forgot. Madonna.
The Japanese Ring.
Oh no! I watched the American Ring. No,
the Japanese. He was in the Japanese Ring recently. So, Keith coming in with the best series I have seen so far this year is Baby Reindeer.
Madonna, I never got around to watching Baby Reindeer.
But you know why? I don't know if everyone's saying, "Oh, Baby Reindeer Ride 2, Baby Reindeer Ride 2." It's the Gladiator effect for me. So many people talking about Baby Reindeer. Okay, I'll watch it when everyone's done talking with it. All right, and then we'll watch it. But yeah, apparently, Keith, you can tell us more. Apparently, there's this there's a good twist in it as well. It's I think there's a bit of moments which are cringe. Not cringe. There was a series that made me like it's always you continuously switch sympathies. And speaking of sympathies, I think what do you think of Sympathizer?
Okay, so the Sympathizer fits in at number 4 this year so far. My all-time favorite shows. I had a blast watching it. By the way, I thought there was another episode of Sympathizer this week, because last week apparently was the finale, 7 episodes, and I was like, wait, no way, it's 7 episodes, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course, there's episode 8 next week, and I didn't know it was the finale. Yeah, it was. I had a really good time watching it. I thought, again, created by one of my personal favorite directors, Park Chan-wook, who I absolutely adore. It's a great watch. I've been talking about it for a long time, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But yeah, it's very well worth to watch. Well worth to watch visually, performance-wise. I think the dialogue is fantastic as well. Yeah, give it a watch. It's great. It's great. Other shows, Franco, you want to talk about?
Smiling Friends.
Oh
No. Listen. I have to sell this. I mean, Smiling Friends. I haven't had so much fun watching this like demented animation style. It's not an easy watch, but hits so hard. That's Baby Reindeer, right? Keith, I assume.
Yeah,
so.
I would imagine so. Yeah. From what Rician said, yes, it's not an easy watch. It hits hard.
But yeah, Smiling Friends. It filled the hole that Rick and Morty left, especially after the whole hullabaloo with what happened with that series. So,
Yeah.
I'm liking it, and even the animations. It's so simple, effective, and yet even the voice acting. Listen, much of the voice acting is done by two people, huh? And even like one of them is Australian, so you can. And apparently, the shrimp guy the voice was done by the same guy who did Salad Fingers. If you remember back in the days, Salad Fingers.
I forgot.
Oh no! There was this meme on TV, on YouTube. This guy does Salad Fingers. I don't know if you remember.
No, I completely forgot.
That's one series that I liked. Let me check what else I have watched as far as series goes. Quiet on Set.
Quite on set. Yes.
Quite powerful, I have to say.
Yes, definitely.
I am enjoying Inside Number 9 as well.
Okay.
It's the ninth. It happens to be the ninth season of Inside Number 9. And like Joe said last time, this is Ari Aster light. There's that kind of every episode. There's what's her name, Judy Comer. I really like this. Can you go up? I really like that episode. I think this is Mulberry Close. Go up. I genuinely liked that episode where it's all even Buatagoos. Some really good storytelling with a lesson kind of thing.
Okay.
Buatagoos is amazing. It's basically 8 people. Was it 8 people? I think 8 to 9 people get stuck in a camp, get stuck in the underground in London, and one of the passengers gets her wallet stolen, and they try to find who the culprit is, and people point fingers at the obvious person, but then there's the twist at the end. Mulberry Close, it's just one the perspective of a doorbell camera. Amazing. And what was the other one that I saw? Control Alt Escape. Control Alt Escape was a bit unfortunately predictable. No, you can go down because there's the Control Alt Escape. Yeah. So you have to close the control.
Is it CTRL?
Oh no! If you so you can delete that. If you go down, you can see it. You can see under episodes.
Okay.
Oh man, look at the poster. I didn't see the poster. I think this is so far I'm enjoying a lot the series. It's a good discovery. It's been going on for 9 episodes, so for 9 seasons, and I'm ready to see the backlog as well.
Okay. Anything else, Franco? You've been watching with regard to series, which are up there, really good series. Because I have a list of 10 shows.
Go for it, but I'll go for it. I need to catch up now.
So I've watched a lot of shows this year. I'm actually quite impressed by how many shows I've watched. But here are my personal favorites. So I've got my top 5. You already know my number 1 and my number 4. But here are some honorable mentions. Starting off my honorable mentions with a show that I was certain was going to be up there in my top 5. But took a weird twist, and I didn't really like the twist. But up to that point, I was absolutely loving the show. Great performances and visually really impressive stuff. really impressive visually. Really great cinematography. Another series which is in my honorable mentions is an Apple TV Plus Manhunt, with probably one of my personal favorite performances of the year, with Tobias Menzies as our protagonist. I think it does feel like it's a very small budget, but still the performances, the whole concept of looking for the killer, the killer, right, is great. It's really good stuff, and I think this is well worth to watch if you're a history buff. Another honorable mention, one of my earliest watches of the year, Monsieur Spade. Had a really good time watching this. You can tell the talent behind it, as you can see from the poster from the creators of The Queen's Gambit and Oz. You've got Tom Fontana and Scott Frank. Scott Frank, incredibly talented. Great performances as well. Yeah, I loved it. It does lag at times, but the whole culmination of the series, I think, works well. That's Monsieur Spade. More honorable mentions. That's 1, 2, 3. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which released on Amazon. I had a really good time watching this. I really don't get 7.0. I think this should be much higher than 7.0. I thought the whole dynamic between Glover and Maya Erskine. Yeah,
Maya Erskine.
Yeah, the whole dynamic between them is great. I saw some people talking about the fact that they don't have any chemistry at the start. Of course, they don't have chemistry. They don't know each other. I mean, if you're working like this, I imagine it will be incredibly awkward at the start. And I think they make some great humor as well with that kind of awkwardness. Eventually, the chemistry between them develops beautifully, in my opinion. I love the dynamic between them. I'm a little mixed on a season 2 for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because I thought Glover and Maya Erskine are what made this show so good. At the same time, it's a stylish show, so there is a visual idea behind it. There is an idea behind it, right? And I mean, Francesca Sloan and Donald Glover behind the camera. I am quite confident in that as well. So that's Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The last show, because then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 exactly. The last show in my honorable mentions, I thought this would make my top 5. It did not. It's Three Body Problem. Three Body Problem.
True. I forgot Three Body Problem.
Which I had such a good time watching. Great soundtrack. Tristian was watching it right now, and I'm like listening to the soundtrack in the background every now and then. I'm like, holy shit, that soundtrack was so good. The score was really, really good by Ramin Djawadi. I love Ramin Djawadi. I thought the cast was excellent. Pacing wise, it has an issue because after episode 5, everything kind of like grinds to a halt. Episode 5 is mind blowing. The ship episode.
The ship. Oh my god!
I might consider that as the best episode I've watched this year, to be honest.
Yes.
Because it really grinds to a halt, and the plot requires it to grind to a halt, but at the same time, that's such an amazing episode. Having it slow down so much, is a little off-putting with regard to the pacing and so on. But again, a great watch, and I'm sure many of our viewers and listeners have watched it. Which brings me to my top 5 of the year. Actually, I made a mistake. The Sympathizer is not number 4. Sympathizer is number 5. So the Sympathizer is at number 5. I've already talked about it. It's a great show, great performances. Watch it. Number 4 is a Netflix show, and that's Ripley. I think Ripley is a great adaptation to the novel. I think it's a fantastic adaptation to the novel. Probably the best cinematography I've watched this year. It's just I think it's a masterpiece of visual storytelling. Like the composition, the black and white of it all, the lighting. It's just a masterclass. It's just a masterclass. So yeah, this is what happens when you put a fucking talented, award-winning cinematographer behind the screen for a Netflix show. It doesn't look like like what Netflix shows look like usually, right? But you need a vision, you need talent behind the camera. And that really showed in Ripley. Obviously also Andrew Scott with and I would make the mistake of not mentioning Dakota Fanning, who was really good, and Johnny Flynn also very impressive in Ripley. Both main three performances were all very, very good. So Ripley at number 4. Number 3 is Masters of the Air, which released on Apple TV Plus. I had a very, very good time watching the show. I thought that, yes, some of the CGI was wonky at times, understandable. It's not easy stuff to portray, but I thought the main performances by all were excellent. I fell in love with the characters eventually. I thought that's those very cinematic episodes where I had the big battles were impressively done. I think they really pulled it off with this one, with Masters of the Air. Soundtrack, excellent. Callum Turner is a real star. Callum Turner, for me, is one of those up-and-coming stars. And obviously, you've got Austin Butler, who is, I think, charisma personified, in my opinion. That's number 3. Number 2 is an animated show. That is X-Men 97, which, if it wasn't for the incredibly amazing Shogun, would definitely be my number 1 of the year. But Shogun came out, so X-Men comes in at number 2. This is, in my opinion, probably the best thing Marvel have released for the past. We're in 2024. Definitely. Is it better than Infinity War? I don't know if it's better than Infinity War. Infinity War was impressive.
Who said it's better than Infinity War? No, I thought someone said it's better than Infinity War.
No, I'm thinking to myself, is it better than Infinity War? I don't think it's better than Infinity War. Infinity War is a masterpiece of a comic book story. But it's there. It's close. It's not better than Infinity War, because the storytelling and the character development that you have in X-Men 97 and the animation, it's so beautiful, and the action, such beautiful action, and the character work they do here, the character dynamics, it feels impactful. Characters die, important characters die, and die for good. It's not, they'll be back next week from the multiverse. No, impactful storytelling, as it should be. Mature. This is made for adults, definitely not made for kids. Anything. Well, you'd scar kids if you had kids watch this. Trust me, Frank, this is not made for kids. Kids should not watch this. They're going to be scarred, like they're going to. Man, and I think I forgot which episode it was, but yeah, it was this one, episode 5. Episode 5. Good God, that episode scarred me. I'm 31. It scarred me. And I watched it 3 times. I watched that episode 5. I watched it 3 times. The soundtrack as well. I need to mention the soundtrack. The decision on the music. I mean, it's the 90s, right? They can cheat and use amazing 90s songs. But still, it's excellent. It's really good stuff. And the theme song, fucking fantastic. That's X-Men 97 at number 2. Number 1 is, of course, Shogun. And I've already talked about it. I think Shogun is up there with my all-time favorite series, me personally. I think visually, performances-wise, I've talked about already the dialogue. This is a masterclass. It's a masterpiece.
I'm also like, you didn't include Dark Matter. Because I would include Dark Matter.
I haven't finished Dark Matter, so I'd finish it first.
Okay.
I'll finish Dark Matter first, and then
the completed.
Yeah, the completed ones. I consider the completed ones. So that's my list. I hope I gave our viewers and listeners some interesting stuff to check out, if you have not done so already. And with that, Franco, shall we move into our worst movies of the year so far?
Yep. This is going to be interesting.
What do you think, Franco, with regard to the worst movies of 2024?
Look, again, like I tell you every time, I don't watch much bad movies. Um, but for sure, bad movie by par excellence is Madame Web. He read my mind. um, uh, I don't know what happened because it had such a good cast as well. The ADR was horrible. And this is not how this. If you want to make a blockbuster, watch this and say, "Don't do. This is what you don't do
And look
on
at
a
the cast.
blockbuster."
Look at the cast. Sidney Sweeney, Dakota
I know,
Johnson,
my
Adam
it's
Scott. Man, you
Adam
got
Scott.
fucking Scott in your blockbuster movie.
I feel something definitely happened behind the scenes, and they rearranged everything. Isabella Merced as well. I mean, she's not. She's also an up and coming actress as well. That's one. I mean, we've already shat on it enough. Um, Godzilla versus Kong. I was kind of disappointed. I expected that kind of.
Yep. I'm going to talk
What
about
should I
Godzilla
say?
versus X-Kong.
When
Yep.
did we watch Aquaman, by the way? The second
No, that
Aquaman.
was the year before. That was the year before.
Okay, last year
2023.
because I was a bit confused. Yeah, I was expecting something along the lines of Godzilla v Kong. That's enjoyable, balls to the wall action, but this one was again like some too much. This was too much. Too much. It needed to be more. Even the cutting, some of the dialogue was
Oh,
not up to par. And again, Godzilla -1 ruined the American Godzilla for me as well.
yep. Out on Netflix, by the way.
Yes, out of guys, watch that Godzilla because it is amazing, and especially the soundtrack hits hard.
Yeah, Jan messaged me by the way. He told me, man, that fucking movie's so good.
Who? Jan
Jan.
Jan Manjon. He saw
Manjon,
it.
yes. Yes. You watched it
Oh,
today, I
well done, Jan. Welcome to the club.
think. What else, Franco, with regard to bad movies you watched this year?
This is going to be a bit particular.
Ooh, okay.
Civil War.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
Because, no, don't get me wrong. This is an extremely well-made movie, very well edited, some amazing scenes. I rewatched it again recently with my father. My father loved it, he enjoyed it, but he also, obviously he didn't go into as much depth as I did, but he also got confused. Like, who are the bad guys here? He said. The only time it was clear who the bad guy was the sequence with Jesse Plemons. An excellent sequence. So
Yes.
this I'm not
Best,
I'm not gonna
best part of the whole movie, by far.
and it's clear what the threat is, and Jesse Plemons chews up the scenery, even though it's there for what 10
And
minutes.
the tension is
To the
so
point, my father forgot that there was another person with them when he comes with the car and saves them. That's how tense of a sequence it was. And it's got like many highs, like the sequence when they attack the White House was amazing. Even the sound design was great.
yes.
But it is an extremely intellectually lazy movie, I have to say. Like, please give me more. I don't mind ambiguity. Like I said, I keep harping on about Anatomy of a Fall, where you don't know if she's innocent or not, and you're along for the ride. Civil War was a lot of sound and fury, but nothing. It's like empty vessel makes most sound.
Very lazy in its storytelling, in my opinion, and lazy or cowardly. Those are two words I'd use to describe it.
Because this is another thing that made me like, but why is she carrying like the first? This is not a spoiler, but one of the incidents that happened, the inciting incident where the young photographer meets Lee. What happened? What happened? Why are you smiling?
Ashley, you should have done this Thursday as Bad Boys opens on Wednesday, and that would have been the best so far. Ash, I have a feeling you do know we're talking about the worst movies right now. Check. I have a feeling that movie would have fit in the worst. But we'll see. We'll see. I know Ashley loves the Bad Boys movies.
Yes.
He loves.
By the way, Ashley, last time we mentioned you about Boy Kills World. Have you seen it, and what do you think about it?
Yes.
We'll wait about
Watch Boy Kills World.
Well,
you're going to
back to Civil War. I watched the first sequence where basically there are people like saying that they want water, and then this woman carrying the American flag. Words lost, yeah. So back to Civil War. There's going to be a civil war between podcasts, Sarah J. Do you remember the sequence where they were like,
Yes.
and then this woman goes carrying the American flag and does a terrorist attack? I would have expected her to be carrying the Western Forces flag. And there's also like fuck the WF in the beginnings. Like, so what is it? And even the fact that I wasn't at the Antifa massacre line was when I saw it, I rolled my eyes again.
Mamma mia. Oh, so cowardly.
No, but even the way the delivery, the exposition, Garland always had a problem with exposition.
Yes.
You were the one who photographed the motherfucking Antifa massacre. I'm like, what happened? Did they kill people, or did the Antifa get killed? So
And that's Kaylee Spini, one of the most talented actresses right now, delivering that line. So,
and again, even the callousness at the end was like, again, sometimes it's an issue, you know, like would you imagine if you had a gun and Trump was in front of you, would you kill him? I personally would not, you know. So and especially the amount of war crimes seen in this movie, and with that nonchalance of the war crimes, even it was lazy. Even with the song again, it's like, oh, he made a juxtaposition of a fun upbeat song with war crimes happening on film. I'm like, did you have to go that path? You know. Anyway,
shall I move on, Franco, because we still got the best, and we're already 1 hour 42 minutes in.
Yeah. Okay. So that's so far as worst movies go. And,
all right. Mela, here are my worst movies of the year. Actually, some honorable mentions with regard to disappointments. I would say, so here obviously we're talking about movies that released in Malta, okay, in 2024. So there's going to be some movies which will be in 2023 lists outside of Malta. Sorry, I missed it, but could you tell me the best so far? No need to explain, but just curious. Ash, we haven't even started talking about the best. We mentioned the series. With regard to series, Ash, I mentioned Shogun, X-Men 97, Masters of the Air, Ripley, and The Sympathizer. Franco, you mentioned
Dark Matter. So far, Dark Matter. Quiet on Set. What else did I see?
Happy Friends, Smiling Friends.
Smiling Friends. Smiling Friends. And there's also Three Body Problem, which is also an honorable mention for me.
Three Body Problems, yeah. So So now, Ash, I'm going to talk about, and obviously all our viewers, I'm going to talk about my personal disappointment. So, disappointment so far. I watched this one with Bruce. Next Goal Wins. Not Star Trek. I love Star Trek. Next Goal Wins.
Oh my God.
It was big disappointment for me. I gave this, I believe, a 2.5, if I remember correctly. Oh, this was a big disappointment. Oh, I'm not sharing. Oops. There we go. Oh yes, Fallout was one of my honorable mentions. Actually, I loved Fallout. Loved Fallout. Really good. Yeah, Next Goins was a big disappointment. I think considering it's Taika Waititi, I expected much more, especially with the direction. But the direction felt weak, very weak. Humor didn't work for me. So yeah, a little bit off. And I didn't fall in love with the majority of the characters, to be honest, which was again disappointing. Another disappointment for me was like Franco Civil War, but I'm not going to get into it. I think Franco more than spoke enough about that. Bob Marley, One Love, big disappointment. Bob Marley, big disappointment for me. I expected so much more. Visually bland, very boring take on such an important historical figure, especially for the musical scene, and the fact that it was such a bland portrayal was really disappointing, especially when you've got Kingsley Ben-Adir giving a very good performance. Just everything around him was disappointing. Also very disappointing. Well, now I can get into the worst movies. So these are my personal 4 worst movies of the year. I don't think any of these should be considered worse. They were disappointments, but not that awful, right? But now we start with the awful. And starting off my list, it always needs to fit in there somehow. It came in at number 2, I believe, last year. Comes in at number 4 this year. Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. Zack Snyder is making it his objective to fit in my worst movies of the year, and so far he's achieving it 2 years in a row. Rebel Moon was Rebel Moon. 30 minutes of fucking farming simulator, slow motion galore. Most of the action was bland. Some of it was decent, I'll be honest. Character work is a complete disaster. The dialogue was a complete disaster. It's not good. It's not good. That's my number 4. Number 3 was a movie we talked about last week, so I don't really need to get into it too much. Atlas, another Netflix movie. Again, in my opinion, visual diarrhea on screen. Looked awful, bland, boring, and when the action starts going, there's too much going on screen. Man, someone needs to learn editing with these Netflix movies. Like, the basics, just the pure basics. The idea that if something's going on the right, keep the action going on the right. Not
right.
Al-Maduni going there, and next edit is there, and next edit. Like, basics of editing are not there. Like, too much shit is going on. Please, someone needs to go to these Netflix people who work with Netflix. I don't know who edited this. I don't know who shot this. No offense, but these are the basics, right? You can only have so many visual things going on screen before your audience members start to get lost. And you might not notice it, but your brain does. Maybe you don't notice it, but your brain and your eyes notice it. It's just visual diarrhea on screen. And that was Atlas. Also the dialogue. The robot identifying as a she-her.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You were going to say, Franco?
No, nothing wrong with identifying with however you want. It's just too lazy again.
Come on, right. Godzilla X Kong was a big disappointment. I really did not like this movie. Again, too much going on screen. The action, in my opinion, wasn't very clear. Although even some of the CGI was a little off as well at times. Not impressed at all. I expected much more from Godzilla X Kong. Considering Godzilla versus how visually stunning Godzilla versus Kong really was. That was visually stunning. I didn't like it, but I would say it visually stunning. Mm-hmm. And my number 1 worst movie of the year so far is Argyle. This was awful. If you're worse than Atlas, you've got a problem. And Argyle, in my opinion, was worse than Atlas. I thought some of the performances, Bryce Dallas Howard, I am sorry, but you cannot pull it off. You cannot pull it off. I'm sorry. This sequence would have been fine on its own, but everything going on around it is a disaster. But I have to say, the CGI in Argyle was Madonna. The cat CGI, like bland, boring, but the CGI was an complete disaster. Madonna, shbiza. Not for a minute. Oh my God, close, go away. Like really, really, like horrifically bad at times. I'm sorry, Bryce Dallas Howard, you cannot act. I have to say it. I don't think you can act. Henry Cavill really is wasted in this, really wasted. And you've got fucking Sam Rockwell. And Sam Rockwell is so bad in this as well. Fucking Sam Rockwell. I love Sam Rockwell. I love Sam Rockwell. And Bryan Cranston is in this as well. Oh, God.
I remember.
It's painful. It's painful. It's painful. No, this is awful. This is absolutely awful. Don't watch it. Do not watch this. So that's my worst movies of the year. Franco, shall we get into our top 5 movies of the year?
Let's go. Honorable top 5s, or shall I mention?
No. Mentions. Yeah, go for the honorable mentions.
So honorable mentions, I have First Omen. I think that was a very stylishly shot horror. No need for shock, like no need for jump scares or shock factor. The only problem was the ending, especially to tie it with the universe of the Omen. But cinematography, great. Even there was a moment, I remember the whole cinema going like, ugh! The whole cinema was going, brother, ugh! Brother, ugh! Another honorable mention, Fall Guy. I have to say, like the stunts were great, better than Bullet Train, but doesn't really make it to the top 5. I'm trying to remember if I've seen some movies this year that came out last year, because I'm kind of confused now.
Because released in Malta, of course. Released in Malta.
Just a second. When edit.
This is why you need to have a good whole list. Franco, do you want me to get through mine for us?
Yes, go for it.
Let me go for my list. So I'm going to start with honorable mentions. Number 10 is American Fiction. It makes my honorable mentions. Just makes my honorable mentions. Obviously released in Malta in 2024, so it fits. American Fiction, great dialogue. I thought the screenplay for American Fiction was fantastic. I really enjoyed the character work as well at play here. I thought the performances were really good as well. Jeffrey Wright especially, impressive, and that's why it fits at number 10. Number 9 for me is The Iron Claw. I really, really enjoyed The Iron Claw, and enjoyed is a weird one because it's hard to enjoy this film. It's such a painful watch, but a great watch. I think visually, again, very good stuff. I thought that some of the fight sequences were impressively done, but the most impressive thing was Zac Efron's performance, who I think he was incredible. Had a lot of carried this movie on his 2 very wide shoulders. Like the emotional brunt of this film is there on his shoulders, and he really puts it off. Iron Claw at number 9. Number 8, a film that I really did not expect to love this much, La Chimera. Cinematography-wise, this is stunning. Some of the most beautiful pictures I've seen this year. Its use of camera, different lenses is really impressive. Sometimes at 35mm, sometimes at 16. Really impressive stuff. The color tone, excellent. Its portrayal of Madonna, the area where obviously the Etruscans ruled, and the tomb searching, incredible stuff. And obviously at the center of it all, you've got Josh O'Connor, who for me is one of the best actors plying his trade right now. That's number 8. Number 7, a movie I had such a good time watching, is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I actually watched La Chimera and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on the same weekend. I'm noticing. They made 8 and 7. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, some of the best CGI I've ever watched of all time. Impressive stuff. And really impressed by the interesting characters. Like, just make it about apes. Please do not change this. Keep it about the apes. Do not think about bringing in humans. I don't fucking care about humans. I want to see more apes. I think, again, the CGI is brilliant. I think Owen Teague really pulls it off as an ape. Again, Kevin Durand as well as the villain was fantastic. Really chewed up the scene. Yeah, it's great stuff. It's really, really good stuff. Well done also to Wes Ball, who does a great job directing this. I think, again, there's some great cinematography in this, great action, set pieces, but it's the characters. The characters. It's all about the characters and the character dynamics. And I love the characters. And that's why I think Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes deserves its place at number 7. Another film that probably won't be on most lists because it released in 2023, but in Malta it came out in 2024, is Perfect Days. I had a very good time watching this, obviously released by Neon. Yeah, I think visually stunning, some of the best cinematography I've seen this year. Lighting as well was excellent. And obviously you've got the legend Wim Wenders directing it. How could it not look this great? Yeah, I think performances-wise, Jesus, what's his name? Koji Yakusho, who's just so good as our main protagonist. It's a slow movie, very slow movie. It's nothing out of this world is happening, but the everyday life we see going on here with Hirayama is fantastically portrayed, and it's such a feel-good movie. Seeing someone go about his life in such a calm, orderly fashion, just enjoying the small moments of life, really well portrayed, and that's why it deserves number 6 in the spot. And this leads me to my top 5, and my top 5 are the following. The first movie, one that I loved, starring Mads Mikkelsen, released here in Malta in 2024, so it fits. The Promised Land, some of the best cinematography again of the year. Beautiful portrayal of what are they called? The wildlands, Madonna. Anyway, the uninhabitable land in the north.
Heathlands.
The heathlands. Again, I think this is beautiful film, a beautiful film. Mads Mikkelsen at the center of it all is just so good. Oh, such a performance. And he's not a hero. He does some cruel shit. He does some evil shit in this. But man, the performance by Mikkelsen is just insanely good. You can tell there's a great dynamic between himself and the director, Nikolai Arcel. They've worked together before on a Royal Affair. Keeping in mind that Mads Mikkelsen is coming up from Dial of Destiny and Fantastic Beasts. So that's fucking trash. So coming to this is so good. I'm just looking it up now. This is based on the book, The Captain and Barbara. And I think it's a great adaptation of this story. Captain Ludwig Kahlen, set in 1755. And he retires from service in the German army, and with his pension decides to attempt to colonize the Jutland moorland. Kahlen hopes that if he's able to grow crops in these lands, the king would send him colonizers and funds for him to be able to set up a proper settlement. He also wants to become a nobleman. His final objective is to become a nobleman. And just the conflict that develops between himself and the local magistrate and landowner Frederick de Schinkel is really impressive. The antagonist Frederick de Schinkel, so good. I forgot the name of the actor.
Simon Bennier.
Oh, so it's the kind of villain you really love to hate. You really want to see the protagonist slaughter him, and in very, very satisfying ways. There's one particular action sequence that is excellently portrayed, where they sneak into a camp of soldiers, and it's one shot, stunning, beautifully lit as well. Some beautiful bursts of violence as well, which will remind you a lot of Killers of the Flower Moon. Visually as well, those scenes where they're burning the fields, again, will remind you a lot of Killers, and again, beautifully portrayed. It's great. I can keep on talking about how much I love this film. And it's a fantastic film. Number 4 is Poor Things, again released in Malta in 2024, so it fits at number 4. I loved Poor Things. I think I'm going to keep on saying this, but I mean, all these films are a visual splendor, and I think Yorgos Lanthimos really reached, maybe not his peak because I prefer The Favorite, but one of his best movies, definitely. I've loved the color palette. I love the performance by Emma Stone. I think well-deserved Oscar. A beautiful film, an absolutely beautiful film. I don't really need to say much about Poor Things because a lot of people have talked about it. So yeah, I'm sure most have already watched Poor Things. Number 3 is a film I talked about today already, and that is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I talked about it already, so I don't really need to get into the details, but Furiosa, it's a great film, great visuals, some wonky CGI, but an overall blast at the cinema. Number 2, which is going to surprise a lot of people. Franco, I'm curious to see if you have any idea. Well, you know, because you saw my list, so you know what's up there.
Strangers? No.
This is a movie.
Monster, yeah.
Released in 2024, and it is Monster. There was a lot of chatter about Monster at Cannes, directed obviously by Hirokazu Koreeda, and it apparently won the Queer Palm and the Best Screenplay Award, and very, very, very well deserved because the screenplay for this is incredible. It's going to remind you of Rashomon in its screenplay, in that you've got 3 portrayals, like The Last Duel, for example. You've got 3. You see the same things happening from 3 different points of view. I think it does it better than The Last Duel. Me and Bruce discussed The Last Duel a while ago. I think it does it better than The Last Duel because literally you see the first third of the film and you're like, oh God, that guy, I hate that guy. Then you watch it, the second third of the film from another character's point of view, and like, wait, I don't hate that character. I love that character. No, bad stuff don't happen. I'm trying not to spoil, of course. And then you see it from another point of view, and you're like, wait, you are acting like a piece of shit. Wait, no, you weren't. Wait, what? No, you're actually doing good stuff. Wait, what? No, you're not a piece of shit. Oh, I love you so much. No. So yes, it's heartbreaking. The ending is heartbreaking. Again, I think it's beautifully portrayed. This is a stunning watch. This is a stunning watch. It stunned me watching it. I was like, this cannot be this good. Why aren't more people talking about it? I was really shocked that not more people are talking about it. But I think the screenplay for this is one of the best screenplays I've ever seen portrayed on screen in a very, very, very long way. The way it unveils all the intricate nuances of what's going on in this kid's life, Minato, is just impressive. And it really ties up perfectly. The way it ties up, one of the best endings I've seen this year and in a lot of years. The score is incredible. I'm so sad that Ryuichi Sakamoto died before this movie released. But such a great score, really great score. And lots of trauma, lots of bad stuff happens in this. Prepare, you're going to cry. It's great. It's a great film. Slow paced, yes, but give it a chance. It's incredible. And I'm sure everyone knows what my number 1 is going to be. Of course, it is none other than Dune Part 2. It's great. It's really good. I love Dune. I love Dune Part 1. I thought Dune Part 1 should have won the Oscar that year. And I think Dune, wow, Dune Part 2 was great. Did you see that on the screen? Dune Part 2 was incredible. I mean, what more is there to say about it, right? Denis Villeneuve, finally. I've loved every single film by Denis Villeneuve. I think almost every one of his films has been either a 4.5 or a 5. But this is a magnum opus. This is his magnum opus. This is the kind of film where you go to the cinema and you're like, how did they do this? How did he pull it off? It's like
Lisan Al-Gaib! Denis Al-Gaib!
He's the chosen one. He is
Denis Al-Gaib! I'm expecting...
By the way, so obviously we love Dune. Keith, a movie that is a highlight of the year, and I need to watch it. Keith, you're right. The Last Stop in Yuma County.
Same here.
I saw it mentioned by friends of the show, Red Letter Media. And they mentioned they really enjoyed it. They thought the performances in it were excellent. They really enjoyed what happens as well, the character dynamics and all. And I'm really looking forward to checking it out as well, because apparently it's a great little film. So great mention there, Keith. Haven't checked it out so far. We'll definitely check it out.
Will check it myself as well, because it's been on my radar.
Yes.
Very well reviewed. Well, so
Franco.
I can mention the movies I organized as well, but I'm not going to mention like the number 5s and 4s. So
all right,
stay tuned
go for it.
to the end of the year. So honorable mentions. We already mentioned First Omen, another honorable mention, and I had the joy of interviewing the director, Tiger Stripes. A Malaysian coming of age horror, so to speak. Very bold in its portrayal of girlhood. There's also Out of Darkness. Out of Darkness was released last year, but in Malta was only available. No, was released 2022, but was released in Malta or in the streaming services this year. Do you remember Apocalypto, where they used the original language?
Yes.
So this follows that same path, and excellent cinematography. It reminded me of Valhalla Rising. I don't know if you remember Valhalla Rising of Nicholas Winding Refn, and great performances throughout. Another honorable mention. Stop motion. Stop motion is that one. It's a horror based on stop motion, so it's very visceral, very like creepy. Doesn't fulfill its full potential, but really, I felt it's quite disturbing for what it wanted to do. And so how many honorable mentions did I mention so far?
I think that's 4.
4. And the last one would be Animal Kingdom. Not last. I will have to mention another one, because there were so many honorable mentions. Animal Kingdom, which is a French production. How much is it, the rating?
6.7.
I was quite surprised by the effects of it all, and it's a action drama that takes like about a sickness that transforms people into animal. So, and there's that kind of social messaging in it as well that kept me going. And finally, for honorable mentions, Mars Express, great animation. It's unfortunately a bit derivative of Blade Runner, but the animation was stunning.
Yep. Mars Express.
As far as best movies go, it's quite. I feel there's quite a competition going. So again, these are in no particular order, but these are the movies I enjoyed the most. Most definitely Dune Part 2. Andrea already waxed lyrical about this movie. Poor Things, amazing stuff. Promised Land, Andrea hit the nail on the head. It's just so Mads Mikkelsen in it is so good, but even the supporting characters, performances throughout, and the great story where you also at first you feel like, should I like this man or should I not like this man? Then Poor Things I mentioned. Love Lies Bleeding. It was a very interesting watch. Andrea doesn't agree with the way it went at the end, but I just said fuck it, and I feel like the Rose Glass even went fuck it. It's it's very visceral again. There's an element. The body horror is not bloody, but there are moments where it really goes there. It's a very bold vision. I like that she swings hard to like very left field. Now, there's also I want to mention 2 more movies, which Andrea I don't know why he didn't mention. Monkey Man. Monkey Man was great. I like the debut of Dev Patel. Excellent action. Story wise is also very interesting. It's a good meld of Bollywood and Western tradition of filmmaking. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Again,
It's
great
up there.
action.
It's number 14. There's Society of the Snow, All of Us Strangers, Origin, and then Monkey Man.
So, but again, so far I haven't put them in order. And another one I want to mention, which was very very good, was Femme.
Was what?
Femme, Femme.
Fum. Oh fuck! I haven't watched Fum.
It keeps you with a knot in your stomach. It's
Mm.
a queer movie. I think this year queer really do great sexy movies. Even Love Lies Bleeding, a queer movie, but was sexy as well. Certain moments were very. I would say what else was sexy? Yeah, Femme. It's even though it's a relationship between two guys, it was very sexy. Like George Beckett and what I forgot the Nathan Stewart Jarrett. Nathan Stewart Jarrett pulls a drag queen particularly well. And again, this is a moment where you start wondering, should I be sympathizing with the main character? Even though like it says that there was a horrific homophobic attack. Where do you draw a line? So there's that, but even color wise, as you can see, great color. Highly recommended. It's 7 as well, right? 7.4, quite a high rating. So there's that so far, and I think you have to wait. Oh, of course, one should never not forget Zone of Interest.
I watched it in 2023, I believe. No.
Zone of Interest, because I reviewed it on Letterboxd this February.
No, wait 1 second. Let me check my activity. I can find it quickly. No. Show your activity. Review on. Oh yes, that's. Oh fuck. I didn't put Zone of Interest in the list. Oh no, that shakes things up.
Zone of Interest. If you want this movie gets under your skin. Sorry.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
That completely ruins my list now.
And I made a pun, unwarranted pun, because Jonathan Glazer also directed a movie called Under the Skin, but it's a movie that gets under the skin of and the callousness of this family. Another great performance by what's her name, Elizabeth Huller.
Yes.
And the Host family. Apparently now there's
Sandra Huller.
Sandra Huller. Sorry. Now there's the documentary of the family, the Commandant's Shadow, and the family is not really. They didn't really shake off the. They didn't really shake off the Nazi in their family tradition. Yeah, there was a bit of a controversy.
Oh shit. Okay.
With the grandson, basically, of Hos. And yeah, I mean, this is 2 movies in one. There's a movie that happens outside of the movie, great sound design. The sound design is impeccable.
Yes.
And there's a movie that you're seeing in what's happening in front of you.
Man, those hearts. Oh god. Seeing
Which
hearts
one?
on these hearts at the bottom right of the trailer. Seeing those hearts is really putting me off. Wait,
Um,
what was I?
I mean, I think it's hard to say that they like the movie, not that they like what they did. Anyway, I if you want a great portrayal of callousness, of the loss of humanity, this is a great movie.
Indeed.
I think it's
Indeed. And I think, Franco, unless
We
you have
can
any
end
other
it here.
films, we can end it there. Thank you to all our viewers and listeners who joined us today. I hope you had a very good time watching today's podcast. So apparently, as Ash said, Bad Boys is coming out this week. So I guess
we should
have to
go
watch
and check
Bad
it
Boy.
out just in case.
Maybe it fits in my top 10 list. Who knows? You'll
Who
find out at
knows?
the end
Who
of the
knows?
year
Who
then.
knows?
Well, next year, I guess, because it comes out next year. And with that, viewers and listeners, thanks so much for joining us. Let us know in the comment section below, even if you're watching this after, because right now we're doing this live, of course, but if you're watching this after, let us know in the comment section below what are your favorite movies, favorite series of 2024 so far. And if you're like me and like to waste your life, also let us know what are some of the worst movies and series you've watched so far in 2024. And with that, Franco, thank you so much as always. Always a blast
you.
here on the Ad Lib Podcast.
Thank you
to
for
our viewers and
hosting
listeners.
as usual.
Like,
Thank you for organizing
subscribe.
this.
Always a fun time here at the Ad Lib Podcast. And with that,
And free Palestine on yourself. And with that,
as always, adios. Ciao, ciao. See you guys next
Ciao.
week. Ciao, ciao.